Hey guys, what's up? It's Nathan, and welcome to Hail. So if any of you have followed this channel very long, you will know that The Lion King is not only my favorite Disney film, but my favorite animated film of all time, and one of my favorite movies of all time. I had an old YouTube channel called The Cinema Surfer. I know, it's like so freaking catchy. And during the time period of that channel, I actually had Lion King listed as my #1 movie of all time. It basically is now, sitting at #2, but I consider my top 2 movies a tie. There are many reasons to call a movie your favorite movie of all time, but The Lion King is more than just a movie to me. It literally changed my life. The Lion King turns 25 years old. Oh, wait, what do you know? Today! Man, it's almost as if I planned for this video to be released today. In the 25 years it has been around, it has gained a massive following and critical acclaim, being re-released into the theaters, one of the highest grossing animated films of all time, receiving a Broadway adaptation, movie and TV sequels, now a live action-ish remake, and memes galore. All right, like on a side note, I think if animals could give us 3 requests, one of them would be to stop Lion Kinging them. For me, all this publicity and praise has made me love the movie even more. Like, I think there's just like an unspoken knowledge we all have that Lion King really is the king of Disney movies. Notice how all the Disney movies released say, the best Disney film since The Lion King. Like, you never hear things like, the best Disney film since Mars Needs Moms. It's because that movie sucks. And I bet you forgot that movie even existed before I said that. But what I'm getting at is The Lion King is a standard for Disney. I could go into the background of the movie making and talk about how it wasn't supposed to be as big as it was, or I could tell you my thoughts on the deleted song Warthog Rhapsody. But today I want to talk about why I love The Lion King so freaking much. So I was born in the 90s, and so obviously my family had a VHS copy of The Lion King. I watched it a lot, cried at Mufasa's death, sang in Hakuna Matata, you know, all that jazz. In fact, I have memories of my little sister Caitlin and I jumping from couch to couch to the song I Just Can't Wait to Be King and making this entire choreography for it. But oddly enough, it wasn't when I was a kid that this movie meant so much to me. Yeah, I loved it as a kid, but it wasn't until I was in high school that I realized how perfect this movie is. To give a little bit of context, my freshman year of high school was a very hard year for me in my life. My little sister Caitlin, the one I mentioned earlier, she passed away in a car accident. She was just 1 year younger than me, and so this obviously impacted both myself, my family, really the entire town we lived in. Caitlin was a light to many people. This untimely death led to many sleepless nights, tear-stained pillows, and grief. I'm so grateful for the love shown to me by my family and friends at this time. They helped me overcome the grief and endure this difficult time. In fact, there were many things that helped me become stronger. My church and religion beliefs reassured me that everything would be all right, and I would see Caitlin again. My family was there for me every step of the way, and people in the town helped me as well. But oddly enough, this little Disney movie about lions talking helped me a lot during my healing process. A few months following Caitlin's passing, I remember sitting at the table working on homework one day, and in the background, my little sister Boo, that's the nickname I gave her, was watching The Lion King. I didn't give it much thought. I had seen it 1,000 times as a kid, and I was just letting her watch it while I did homework. It wasn't until the scene with Rafiki and Simba. You guys know the scene. Simba has doubts of who he is, and he has regrets of the past. Rafiki comes to him and reveals to him that his father is always with him, and that he has a purpose. He tells him, he lives in you. I instantly felt at peace. It was almost as if whatever homework problem I was reading, or whatever chapter I was reading from the textbook, it just became obsolete, and Rafiki was speaking directly to me. I knew in that moment that no matter what, Caitlin was with me, and that she would always be with me. It's a powerful realization, one I didn't think I'd receive from a Disney movie, let alone a freaking monkey. Who's the monkey? But that simple scene with such delicacy spoke directly to me. Of course, Rafiki is talking about Simba's father in that scene, but I interpreted it directly as Caitlin living with me. In other words, she's still watching over me. I wasn't in the exact position of Simba. I hadn't forgotten about Caitlin in my life like he had his father, but it had been about a year since her passing, and I was forgetting the light she had to spread. It was as if Caitlin was saying, I'm still here for you, and that spoke to me deeply. But one of the best things about this movie is that there's more than just that one scene. This movie also has a lot of symbolism in it. I can mention a lot of scenes, but the one I would like to talk about is the scene where Simba and his father are looking up at the stars. Mufasa tells Simba that the stars are the kings of the past watching over them. We'll skip to the scene where Simba returns to the Pride Lands to fulfill his purpose as king, and you'll notice that as he's running to the Pride Lands, there are shooting stars, several of them following him. It's as if the kings of the past are cheering for him and excited for him to return to his rightful place in life. Maybe you like the movie for the vibrant colors, or for the father and son relationship, or the music. Another big part of the film that helped me through Caitlin's passing and through my own personal trials was the film's score. In fact, it still helps me today. I have memories of laying in my bed at night, headphones in, listening to the track This Land, or listening to the track King of Pride Rock and getting chills at the end because I'm imagining Simba climb up Pride Rock. The composer Hans Zimmer actually won the Oscar for his work on this film, which I think is very well deserved. Out of 11 nominations in his career, this is his only win. For the record, I wish he'd win more. I was watching some interviews with him, and the score is very personal to him as well. He said concerning the score, "I realized the heart of the story was a child losing their father, and my father died when I was very young. Suddenly I was confronted with something. And the Fuzzy Animal movie became actually very serious and very profound for me. And so yeah, I wrote a requiem for my dad." And it's kind of neat to me to know that someone who had gone through the same struggles I had gone through from losing a loved one, they were behind the making of this movie. Another scene that changed my life was the scene immediately following Simba seeing his father in the vision, when Rafiki talks to Simba. You'll recall that Simba talks about how he is afraid to go back because of his past. Rafiki then smacks him on the head out of the blue, and so Simba pretty much says, like, "What the heck is your problem?" And Rafiki says, "It doesn't matter, it's in the past." Simba then says, "Yeah, but it still hurts." And the next thing Rafiki says changed my life forever.
"Oh yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." Ah, you see?
One thing that literally every person has in common in this world is trials. We all face them, whether it's addiction, regret, shame, losing a loved one, anything. And this quote from Rafiki speaks to everyone. No matter what your past holds, you have two options here. Run away from your problems only to bump into them down the road, or learn from them and create a path where they don't happen again. I remember that day as a sophomore in high school, I had a change of thought and a change of heart. I realized that no matter what I went through, I'd be able to overcome it because of that principle I got from a freaking monkey. Who's the monkey? The movie continues, and arguably the best part of the film happens when Simba defeats Scar and takes his place as the king. The long walk up Pride Rock almost brought tears to my eyes on that same day of sophomore year. Simba did it. He learned from his past, and he received a simple message from his father to always remember who he is and to never run from his past again. This is so powerful, and this is why I love The Lion King the way I do. When people ask me, sure, I can say there's great songs, great jokes, great characters, but the meat of it is the message of the movie. Other Disney movies have good morals, even great morals, and powerful messages, but no Disney movie has ever hit me on the same level as The Lion King. And with that being said, no other movie in general has hit me on the same level as The Lion King. The Lion King has changed my life. It taught me a lesson when I was a young high schooler to remember who I am. Remember the purpose that I have in life. Remember my loved ones who are watching over me. And I say the same to anyone who's watching this. Remember who you are, whether you've lost a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a pet, or maybe you've lost no one. I hope that this movie can touch someone else's heart the way it touched mine. Now, with one movie meaning so much to me, you may be wondering, why isn't this movie still his number one? The fact that you can spend so long on a stinking video should be a reason to call it your favorite movie, and it's like I said earlier, my two favorite movies really are a tie. However, my number one movie is It's a Wonderful Life, because that spoke to me on a personal level, but for a different time of my life. I think movies speak to people differently depending on where they're at. The Lion King saved me in high school. It's a Wonderful Life continues that process. But one thing I can say is this, The Lion King is the most personal movie of all time for me. I love it more than love. I'm excited for the remake too. I'm sure it will be a visual masterpiece, and you better believe I'm excited to see Simba climb Pride Rock in the theaters. So the next time you ask me why I love The Lion King so much, and I reply, it's just the best, you can interpret that 4-word answer into this entire video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have an awesome day.